And hello, everybody, and welcome to the Armored Core Silent Line Tournament commentary. It is me, Siphon Razor, and
Hi, I'm Coffee Potato.
so, yeah, we're going to be doing commentary on all the events, giving our thoughts and, you know, general conversation as to how hopefully it goes out well. Let's go.
Yep, and right now we have the bracket up here. So first off, I just want to point out we're actually going to have everything but those bottom few fights. For some reason, it wants to get cut off here. But first off, we are going to be starting with myself and my friend Leos Klein over here. So let's get this thing started. Do you have your video up over there?
Yep.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, and let's go.
So, interesting fight. He starts off with a grenade launcher shot, which is, yeah, grenade launchers I find are almost as OP in Gen 3 as they are in Gen 1.
Yep,
You
got
know?
all the stun and overheat and all the nice punchiness.
And they rapid fire as well. You got open up with your missiles. I think missiles are still almost as good as they were in Gen 2, as it shows, because you're actually in the lead there for a bit in terms of damage.
Yeah, my mistake here is that I needed to get closer to try to get more out of that howitzer. This build definitely focuses a lot on the howitzer. Actually, it has a tendency to start
Yeah,
off early, get a few missiles out, and try to clip somebody in the foot. As soon as it does that,
yeah,
then it's good to go.
yeah. The side launching missiles are actually quite good in this game in Silent Line, but got
Yeah,
the 800 MG. We don't have his perspective unfortunately, and ooh, that was yep. There's the grenade.
yeah, I
Like
got punched in the face.
it doesn't take all that many grenade rounds to lower HP, especially on such a lightweight as your build here.
Oh yeah,
That's
for sure.
like what? Oh yeah, it's like I believe
The
you guys
sweet
counted this
draw.
one a sweet draw. I think the only draw in the entire tournament actually.
Yeah, I was going
Uh,
in, and that was unfortunately charging at the time, and should have probably gone for more missiles, but had run out by that point.
yeah, the we're just gonna let it play through all the way, I believe, right?
Pretty much. I
All
figure
right,
it's the
so
best way to not have issues.
yeah, the uh, the howitzer I found the howitzers in this game are definitely they're more competitive in closer range maps. I think the arena map they struggle a little bit, especially because they have a left arm grenade launcher that can deal similar damage but at longer range.
True, but the arc is actually really it's weird psychologically. Every time that you see something flying at you, like the immediate thought
You
is to
just
go
want
one
it
way or
back
another.
immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the howitzer actually has a really good job of going and catching somebody right on the toes. And so pretty much every time that I won with the coffee hawk with that, well, that one wasn't a win; it was a draw. But every time
Yeah,
that
it
I
was a draw. It
actually,
was pretty close.
it's like every single time, it's because it caught somebody in the foot and it stunned them.
Nice. Now, starch diet. I think that's what you called it.
Oh yeah, this thing is
You know, the rocket build.
yeah, it's there for the challenges. I think I managed to like clip him a few times here, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he
it's
definitely has the advantage. Like he's just in the sky the whole time in this fight.
yeah, it's meant as a joke for the most part. What I was trying to do was actually set him on fire here. I figure if I could do that, it would at least stop him a little bit.
Yeah, the napalm rockets are actually pretty good, even the inside one. But uh, your this build in particular is actually somewhat tanky for I believe a reverse joint, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of tanky.
it's temporarily tanky, which is the weird part. Like,
Yeah, that's the interesting about Silent Line. You have the physical shields that like instantly buff even a lightweight AC's defenses, but as soon as they're gone, that's it.
yeah, pretty friggin' much. So, like, as soon as they end up running into a situation where they're busted, like this thing has no friggin' stagger resistance whatsoever. So, for example, a few times it ends up getting hit with rifles and just can't do a thing. Because
Yeah, like even right there when you get hit with the grenade launcher and then you get stunned and then the machine gun bullets hit you and stun you a little bit longer.
yeah, so it's a little bit of a painful one to deal with, but that the whole idea.
Interesting thing to note, I don't think he's hit you once with the
Uh,
Karasawa in this match.
Not yet, no. And actually, I think Wasn't this one? Actually, it was the next match with the Coffee Hawk. There was somebody with a Sawa, and we had one of those really laggy matches, which meant that
Ah,
for whatever reason, it was just this beautiful thing where everything was dodging in slow mo, and it looked really impressive as soon as it was sped up. Ah,
impressive. All right.
I just like ended up winding up dodging almost all of it, but any dang ways. So
Yeah,
Mitch,
like you got right there a couple of really good hits with those rockets.
yeah, as soon as two of them hit, it's usually enough to cause a fair bit. Like people often underestimate just how much overheat actually will end up doing to them, because even without the energy down,
Especially in
it's
Silent Line, because it's a much less noticeable decrease in your energy output.
yep,
It will hopefully in the non OPI tournament, it'll be a lot more noticeable because OPI definitely negates a lot of the overheating issues.
true. It's funny because a lot of times, especially in early third here, when there's a situation when somebody goes for a fancier radiator or something like that, it actually winds up being a bit of a negative because of the weird way that the game handles cooling. So, for example, the higher the actual threshold is for their cooling, that's basically where the fire is going to end up reaching. So they end up actually taking more damage if they have a better radiator than if they had a weaker one. I'm fairly
Weird,
certain.
huh?
But
Okay,
yeah,
that's interesting.
there's a lot of weird quirks with Silent Line with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the early early Gen 3 was definitely very strange with some of its mechanics, especially like the Exceed Orbit mechanics is very interesting to say the least. You
Yeah.
definitely give this guy give Leos a run for his money though. He's running, getting kind of low on ammo, trying to kill you.
Yeah, that I was saying even after the match, like, I really probably should have just continued playing chicken over here instead of repeatedly trying to plink him. Because the thing is, I completely ran out of rockets here, and that's kind of what did it. That's started getting a little bit
I
desperate
mean,
for
at
ammo.
least you got more rockets in this game than in Last Raven.
Oh yeah,
So many rockets.
I've started and just pretty much put down the attempt at a Last Raven rocket run multiple times now, just because of that same thing. Like, oh, you got to be so much more precise with it. It's so much
Yeah,
more
you gotta be a lot more
annoying.
precise. You gotta have a lot more fine control. You also have to be a lot more lucky because the AI in Last Raven's a lot more jank than it is in Silent Line.
Oh yeah,
AI I tend to find is actually very consistent. At least the enemy AI is. So
and I think the funniest part is actually when it comes to the MTs and stuff like that, because they're always a complete pain to hit. So even with the highest ammo count, which I think was like 180 or something like that, it still wound up with a situation where the principal fight.
vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, the two friggin' little helicopters that decide to stick
Oh,
around, and they will always respawn if you kill them early. So yeah, you gotta beat the AC fight, and then you have to not run out of ammo for those two helicopters, otherwise you fail.
those poor helicopters.
uh,
They end up winning. Yeah, and you didn't die. Well, I mean, I guess you did die. 'Cause you lost, but
yeah, given enough
yeah,
time, probably could
given
have
enough
pulled
time,
something off there, but oh well.
more rockets.
Yeah,
So yeah, to Starch diet, just the against an OPI opponent who can stay in the air is not quite consistent enough. So
so I was trying to edit my settings real quick here while it's going and loading up the next video because I'm noticing a little bit of slowdown. Hopefully I can go ahead and fix this real quick while we're sitting here. Don't worry,
okay.
nothing's being missed. Not entirely sure why it's doing that.
Interesting to note, though, of course, is the Leos using his Kurosawa build also missed a lot. So that goes to show the general accuracy of the Kurosawa in Gen 3.
Yeah, that thing is
Even in
surprisingly
early Gen
inaccurate.
3, it's not very accurate. Yeah, Gen 2 Kurosawa is like a freaking laser beam; it never misses.
Well, okay, for Gen 3 though, unless you're at close range, and I'm pretty sure everyone's got nightmares of Silver Fox. It's like, oh, I'm
If
a
you don't want to be at long range from Silver Fox, he'll just obliterate you with missiles. You don't want to be at close range with Silver Fox, he'll obliterate you with Kurosawa. So
exactly, and then you try to damage him at any range. He's like, hey, check out the sweet shield I got.
murder.exe.
Yeah, it's here for fun.
I was honestly hoping you could get like an insta kill murder with this guy at some point in the tourney, but it didn't happen.
I almost did, and it's only because of one button press that didn't register. So
Damn.
I'll point out when it happens, but there was just one part in particular where I was trying to switch into the quad missiles, and it only fired the doubles, and just due to that, it wasn't two of them. It didn't stagger the guys, so the other two didn't hit. It's like, oh man, such a bummer.
Yeah. This is Leos's lightweight build, and it just shredded your guy to pieces.
Oh yeah, there was no chance here whatsoever.
I love it that the large missiles exploded before they reached the end.
Right.
So we're going on to the next video, right?
Yep. And
My little intro sequence here.
all right, let me see
Yeah,
why. There we go.
I was showing off my editing skills here. So
I'm at about 11, 12, 13 right now. I had to pause it a little bit for the for OBS to catch up.
okay.
All right,
All right.
so we got you versus Celtic. We
Yep.
appear to be running quite slow for some reason.
Yeah. Are we gonna let it run at the normal speed, or are we gonna increase it?
At the moment, we're actually getting a little bit of oh, there we go. It's caught up now.
Yeah, it started off really slow for some reason, but this is my fight with Celtic Spear, and his build you don't get to see a lot of it. He's got a machine gun EO and a bazooka, and I'm running machine gun rifle and EO.
Yeah, you're looking really 4th gen right now.
She's very 4th gen right now, yeah. Interesting thing about the rifle EO is it only has 6 optional slots, which is the worst out of all of the cores in Silent Line.
Well, you gotta get all that extra DPS. Yeah, I don't know why they only went for 6. You'd think it would be 8 or so, but it's...
I don't know. They updated it in Nexus. They gave it a more proper amount of optional slots, but
well, I guess they figured all the extra heat output from it in this one because wow, that thing shreds like crazy. Like when somebody, I've seen a few times in this tournament where somebody went and combined it with dual rifles, and it just
it is ridiculous the DPS it outputs.
Yeah, and just complete shutdown.
So interesting thing, I'm going to mention this here. The linear gun I have decided is worthless in Silent Line.
It's not great.
It is not a good weapon. Like the only reason I equipped it on this AC in the first place is because I could. Thinking back on it, I should have not bothered with the linear gun and just stuck the ammo mag on it, and I beat the guy right there, obviously.
Yep.
So, but I should have stuck the ammo mag for more high-act missiles, which are amazing in the game, except for the fact that they weigh a shit ton.
Very true, very true.
So, but his first fight went. His disadvantage was the fact that my build had generally longer range than his did.
Yeah, and he didn't really have the defense to be able to kind of outmaneuver it.
And this showcases the absurdity of the triple missile launcher with shoulders.
Oh yeah, we should consider banning that for one of these tournaments.
I believe I do believe we've. I know me and Darkslayer have already talked about it. We're pretty much on the same page as far as these missiles go. Like there's a one part where he like boom right there, he just loses 15k health.
Yeah.
Or not sorry. 1500 health, not 15k. This is not 4 answer.
Yeah, not 5th gen either. It's like, somebody just slightly whiffed somebody. Yeah, 15,000.
I found as far as his weaponry, this is his Kurosawa build here. He actually caught up quite quickly when I tried to use the bazookas. The bazookas very much only work at close range, kind of like the Kurosawa, except he's getting better damage than I am at close range. But
yeah, those tri-missiles, though. Holy
yeah,
hell.
I very quickly make it up with the missile attacks. Just dead.
Man, those things are so friggin' OP. It's ridiculous. I love how almost everyone ended up using these. That's
yeah, it's that's why they're being banned next time. So
yeah,
and then round 2 goes to me. This next match goes on for a while.
I just love the look of these dual missiles, though. Like, just goes and it pops out and everything. It's so stylish.
Yeah, kind of like the Omer PM missiles from Gen 4, but
True.
only not as much ammo. So this is the only build I use with boost. This is his. Which one was he?
Looks like the just close range MG build.
He's also got missiles. Yeah.
I was surprised to find out he went for ECMs here, so I ended up seeing this one also. But yeah, he actually
he hit me with the ECM rocket, and I immediately backed away. So
yeah,
this ACM on mine was Harpy. I don't know why I picked Harpy, but it's pink and it's Harpy.
I think I'm gonna have to toss those ACMs on the starch diet for the next tournament. Oh yeah, this was that cool blade fight that happened mid-fight.
Yeah, he hits me, and then I shoot him in the face with a bazooka.
Yeah,
and
it's a
do
good
a shit ton of damage.
Shooting in the face is a good counter.
I didn't get it. I didn't get a good combo off during this fight, but me and Celtic actually did a few matches afterwards, and I was actually able to get a combo. And I don't know how I didn't charge right there. Like,
yeah, it was a pretty good opening.
Was 0, but in the couple matches after this one, I did a good combo: bazooka, laser blade, bazooka, laser blade. And yeah,
seems like some really good potential stun lock.
Yeah, bazooka also works really good at stunning. Obviously, you just saw him try to overboost at me, and I just shot him in the face.
Yeah, that's a nice 1 frame per second fight. This is we're just observing all the different frame perfect movements, as you can see. But yeah, so
yeah.
For any that, I was just going to say, for any that would be unaware of all this, we're going to see a fair bit as far as lag goes and all that sort of thing. Basically, this is just due to the fact that whenever the software that was being used for all this was used, it's not exactly a perfect connection. You know, you're going to have a bunch of weird little jank that happens here and there. So we're oftentimes...
some people have good connection. Other people will have a very slow, laggy connection.
Yeah, like Leos and I had a near perfect one because he's got some pretty god-tier internet on his side, and we're pretty close by geographically.
Yeah, I live in the woods, so I tried to laser blade him, but at the very end,
it was too late. He was already dead. You were just poking a corpse. Jeez, rude.
I didn't mean to do that. Like, I hit the button before the missiles hit him, and the game lagged, and then the blade attack went off, so... Gotta love that.
Right.
But yeah, Leos is, I didn't mention it earlier, but his, the first fight against me, he was using the lightweight with the all machine guns that shredded your heavyweight build, the murder.exe.
Yeah.
And, it suffers from any build that has actually decent, like, medium range potential.
Okay, by the way, I'm pausing it at 2 seconds real quick here to let OBS catch up. So let me know when you're ready.
No problem. I'm ready.
Okie doke, let's do this thing.
So yeah, this one is Celtic Spear versus you, good sir.
Yay, I exist again. Yeah, so this was, I believe, on the loser side there, so...
yeah, this is the loser's bracket, which was very interesting, to be sure.
Oh, this is the one with all the... okay, so this is sped up, by the way. Sped it up in editing.
But, yeah, I see that. It's...
The Sawa build is the one I'm looking for here, because we both got some really fantastic dodges in this one.
Nice.
So this first one was pretty one-sided, mostly just because we both had, you know, pretty much the exact same build, and this one was just a little bit faster. But,
yeah.
You know, it went all right.
Yeah, yeah, that's his MG and bazooka build.
Yeah,
the howitzer. One thing I found interesting is the grenade launcher on the left arm in this game actually has lower attack power, but it does more heat damage.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
The howitzer, you usually have to get 2 shots in order to get an overheat. Sometimes up to 3 if they're an OPI.
Celtic Spear trying to do the rushdown tactic, and because you're a hover leg, you just move backwards at the same speed he moves forward.
Yeah, you may notice the weird kind of hover jank that was going on there. So what I was trying to do and what I kept trying to test over and over in the multiplayer matches, there's this trick they use for speed running, where you
Yeah, I'd
basically,
seen it on one of your videos, the what you call the hover fluttering, where you like tap the booster over and over again.
yeah, and I mean, it's kind of similar to what ends up happening with what's referred to as feathering, where you kind of overboost and then you shut it off, but then you keep tapping boost real quick, and then you basically keep your momentum without actually draining for your overboost. But
Ah.
but yeah, you like keep tapping as soon as the acceleration is finished. But the weird part is they knew about it. It's actually disabled in multiplayer, seemingly.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So the physics are slightly different in multiplayer. Just a
That's good
fun
to
thing to
know.
discover.
Oh, here's murder.exe, round 2 for him.
Yep, about to die again. Actually, this is the one where I was lamenting because okay, so there was a trick that I tried to pull mid fight here. Oh, dang it! It's come on OBS. Sorry, it's
Oh,
pausing for a second here. Come on, catch
okay.
up. You
What
can
time
do
are
it.
we at?
229. 229. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that, but hey,
Okay.
new computer, new problems. Such is life. So
Yay.
so yeah, what happened here? I figured, okay, my energy's low, and I've fought him a few times before this. I'm like, he's a guy that really likes his blade builds. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna launch those four. I'm gonna let it go into charging. And I thought what he was gonna do is he's just like gonna run up and blade, like he does. Maybe he's gonna forget
Yeah.
about the larges. And he was pointing out right after the fact, like, why didn't you just wait for me to charge you and then fire them? Like, well, that's a good point.
Yeah. Those your own muscles almost hit you in the face.
Yep. Well, I don't think they actually do anything if they hit you, but if they end up hitting anything
No,
else,
no, they will.
they will.
They will. They will. They
Hmm.
will definitely kill you if your own missiles hit you. I know that for a fact.
Huh. I actually never tried that in early third gen, but that makes sense. So almost caught up with these tries here, but this thing does not
Yeah, the
have.
tri missiles. You just didn't have the. He got you with a good moonlight blade there,
Yeah. So
unloading with MG.
that's actually why the last Raven version of this has mines, and I still don't know why I didn't put mines on this one, but
Mines are just generally good for builds that don't have melee ability.
yeah. Punch him with a landmine. It's a good way to melee.
It works.
Right?
Just so we're clear, what time are we at right now? Because I might be a few seconds behind.
We are currently at 406. 7, 8,
406.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Okay,
14.
we're
You get
good.
the point.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, so all right.
All right,
I
now
figure this will after this one, we'll call it good for this episode of commentary, and then move on to the next one.
sounds
So,
like a plan.
because we don't want each one to be too long, that can be a bit boring to the people watching.
Very true,
Uh,
very true. And we
because
can
like
we can double check for that video situation.
exactly. All right, Coffee Hawk rises again
This is the dodge
against.
fight. So
Yeah, I remember watching this and thinking, wow, shit, those are like those carousel bolts are getting so close on some occasions, and got hit you a couple times. They're like, zoom, you know.
so so it starts about halfway through here. Once I look at his ammo count, I'm like, you know what? Most practical thing is just to run him dry. So at one point here, I end up getting at really low health, and yeah, there we go. So all of this was running in slow mo. So I'm like, you know what? The only reason I'm losing here is because I'm trying to dodge the sniper rifle and getting hit by the Sawa. And if I dodge the Sawa, I end up getting hit by the sniper. So let's just start taking advantage of this horrible frame rate and just start dodging friggin' bullet time over here. So
Yeah, like the dodging is like crazy. The
oh, I'm
left
so
arm
proud of this one.
sniper is definitely.
That thing's nuts. Dude, it breaks parts like crazy. I don't know why they gave it that property. Like, it feels like a property that should be assigned to a grenade launcher or something.
Coffee Hawk is victorious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. As I know I think it
OBS, come
is
on.
it.
Oh no, it
I
froze a
know in
little
like
bit.
some tournaments I've seen
Hold on one
that the
sec.
left arm sniper was actually banned. Uh oh.
Oh, there we go. So I'm at exactly 6 minutes. It started doing its thing again. So,
Joy. All
yeah, we got
right.
to figure this out before next time. But, yeah. Because
But yeah, the left arm sniper in Silent Line, because you can equip it to a build with a MG, and so you can just and because most of the weapons actually lock on far outside their effective range, you can just snipe with the MG size lockbox, which is just
yeah,
absurd.
it's nuts. The first time through, I think I had let's see, had the 1000 MG, the left arm sniper, and Hydras. And yeah, it breaks anything, and you can just like you can see right there with the Coffee Hawk, it's using the same setup where the lockbox is physically outside of the screen, so
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. But yeah, for some reason it just breaks parts. Any part that the sniper rifle hits, I think it only takes like 4 or 5 shots to break any dang near any part in the game. For some reason.
Yeah. They obviously didn't keep that in Last Raven because, you know.
Yeah. It's
Ooh. ECM rocket. Not that it matters because you're using rockets.
yeah, he was like he sent me a message after this like, "Yes, I managed to hit the rocket guy with a rocket." Like,
That's quite
yes.
hilarious.
This is the it never mattered less is the thing.
Ooh, yeah.
But
It didn't make any difference.
yeah, he still ends up winning this if I recall, but
You got him down below your health for a little bit.
yeah, it like I think I didn't end up winning a single fight with this build. Oh, dang it. Stop getting stuck, OBS. What are you doing? Why does it do that? There we go.
Is it getting stuck?
Yeah, it just got stuck for a few seconds. It comes back.
Okay.
I have no idea why it's doing that, but
Alright, as long as it's not terribly bad, it should be alright, so.
it's not ideal, but for the most
You know,
part,
I'm actually honestly kind of surprised that, like, she's trying to laser blade the rocket guy in the face when it's one of the few instances where you can pretty much guarantee rocket hits.
yeah, it's really punishing. Like there was I want to say fight 3. He ends up going from 7,000 to 1,500 over the course of a few seconds, just because those dual rockets are just disgustingly strong. Actually, right here, like
Yeah.
he's getting like he's going for a good dead angle here. He's basically going right for the shoulder, which he's just getting out of the way. Actually, what ends up deciding this fight is right at the very end. There, I had a bit of an issue with input lag, wherein
Oh,
it's
yeah, you got so close.
yeah, I tried to switch to the decoys, and I think I switched to the hand missiles instead.
Well, hand rockets, but close enough.
Yeah, same basic difference. It's a big old explodey rock, but as you can
Yeah,
tell,
if you got, yeah, if you
like he knows he doesn't
pull
want
it
to
off,
risk it.
but.
Yeah,
But yeah,
OBS is
that was I think the best fight you did with Starch Diet. So
by far. So like I was expecting him to go for missiles because he's running off. He doesn't want to risk another close range hit, and I'm trying to switch, and it's like no. Input lag, and I switch
yeah,
to the small missiles, and then re-rotate the wheel again, and that's why they had an inside button later on.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, at least for the PS2 versions. Obviously, Last Raven doesn't, but
yeah,
on PSP,
it
that's
actually does.
actually
You can assign a button to inside.
well in the PSP version of Last Raven.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain you actually can assign a button to inside.
But like as far as I'm aware, the PSP version of Last Raven has the same control setup as
It
the
does.
portable version of 3 and Silent Line.
You know what? I got my game device right here. Let me go check it.
So we're still playing, right? The video.
That I am.
So I'm
And
at like 10:05, 10:07. Okay.
yeah, let me go ahead and skip to that point. There we go. I had to slow it down a couple of times because of nonsense. Basically, it's
No
just a
problem.
little bit of a weird technical thing with the recorder where it sometimes gets stuck on top of
Yeah.
videos already being laggy. But it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, there's some ooh, going out the gate. We got a guy trying to blade you, you got the howitzer, we got missiles.
That howitzer is such a fantastic blade encounter,
It is, and it's so lightweight too. Like it weighs less than the Moonlight Blade does.
right? It's such a
That's probably why they got rid of it. They didn't
yeah.
want Evangel to have to think too hard.
Oh man, did you see that meme? I think it was
Yeah,
Keltec that put it
I
together.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that. And we're gonna cut that in for the video. And so, final thoughts of the first 3 matches, as it were, of the tournament.
Don't go into tournament with rocket build.
uh, as far as me goes, the most successful builds were the builds that had the most flexible damage output.
Yep, and the ones that could still manage to move under the weight of all those weapons.
Exactly. So, and yeah, well, thank you everybody for watching. We're going to be working on the next one. I hope you all enjoyed. Coffee Potato, take it away.
Yep, you have a good one. See you in the next bit.